prayer for you, please?
Okay.
Because I know it's not your thing.
It's not. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Would you like me to do a pledge?
Please.
Yeah.
Are we ready?
Yeah.
Let us bow for prayer. Lord, I just ask that this evening we would have clarity and discernment in the matters of the town. I ask that you would also help each one of us that are in attendance to help understand the town's uses for its meaning. And I ask that we would never forget what your son did when he died on the cross for us. These things we ask you in. Amen.
Amen. I mean the pledge. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Make a motion to accept the agenda with flexibility.
I second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Right. Annexation is it.
I received the paperwork for the annexation for the lake park out there for the agreement. Just got it today, so I'll look it over and I don't know if you guys did you send it to them too, Kurt? Okay.
No, I barely got it to you.
It's for the the soccer field out there for Lake Park. They're waiting on that document from us before they even think about signing the annexation form. So I sent them the other paperwork they requested, the actual annexation. They have that, so but they're waiting on this. So when I take a look at it here,
So that's movement in the right direction.
it is. I don't know if you want to wait the next 2 weeks before I send it to them. If I look at it, everything's okay. I'd like to get it to them so they can look at it, because I'd like to get this going here.
We have a timeline, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what you're looking to do, if you want, is to authorize the presentation and execution of the land use agreement with Lake Park Industries outside of a meeting. You would be signing.
So moved.
Second.
A motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
Because that's the last piece. Once we get that signed, then Chris has to sign for the.
So I feel like we're not seeing it loud, but our attorney actually drafted it. So
Yeah, and I'm recommending it, and I of course will make
Yeah.
changes as directed by you, Chris, or Terry, when you have had a chance.
all right.
I'll
That way,
forward
at
it
least
to you,
it gets
Chris.
you moving.
That's all I have on that.
I don't like being in neutral.
I know.
I want to go.
Yeah, I figured, and I know you're trusting me to a certain extent, but I can make changes if you see something
Right.
you don't like.
Nick? Nick's been a bachelor this week, right?
Oh yeah, wife's in Ireland. Comes back tomorrow.
Ireland came over here
Girls
for
had a-
soccer. Your wife went over there?
No, she
Yeah.
texted me. She's like, "Man, they get crazy with soccer." I said,
Oh,
"That's
yeah.
their sport up there."
Well,
No, her girls were in a wedding for their
nice.
so. One thing I want to talk about is just we have these old maps downstairs. I think Chris, you were down there.
I did see him.
And they're taking a lot of space. They're old. They take special tape to keep them secured to the ground. Without tape, they roll up. We just don't like them. We want to surplus it, kind of have like a Bennett garage sale surplus. Just, we want to get different ones that are flatter. They all Velcro. They're a lot cheaper. So we would like to try to get surplus those old mats.
Yeah, those take up a substantial amount of
Yes,
space
for sure,
in the
yeah.
basement right now.
Yes. They're not the easiest to clean either. So
What do you use them for?
physical tactics. We do a lot of training with them. So
You could use them for gymnastics if you
Wrestling.
there you go.
Wrestling.
rasp.
Won't hurt. Won't feel very good.
I'll make a motion to declare those mats surplus.
Second that.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? In my mind, I'm seeing a fundraiser there. You guys could like throw one another, let them throw you around. I don't know.
Yeah,
Can that happen with the surplus?
Sure.
Just do it.
Last thing I want to say, I want to thank Myron and his fire department for helping us with lovely storm damage we had. I was not sure what we had in town until I came across the bunch. I literally let the storm go by my house, went on a clock, and literally soon left my driveway. They said, Shipshewana wonders a tree on a house in town. And I went to it and got stuck here at a tree down in town. It was pretty bad. Brian heard me on the radio, so he came out. I started making phone calls. So everyone came out to help, and these guys were amazing. They went all over the county, checked every road. I think you guys came across some campers that had trees down with people inside, and
Oh my
So-
gosh.
it worked pretty good. Me and Brandon got to know State Road 5 for 10 hours straight until,
I heard
Yeah.
that.
yeah,
Another one of those NIPSCO things.
Oh, really?
yeah, it was
Lights out, nobody's home?
that, and they wouldn't give us time when they were going to show up. So NDOT showed up and
Sitting
did
on
their
the
thing, and we got
downline.
5 open.
And Duck
So,
came out and they
That's
were
what
like,
they had to do to make sure
watch
nobody-
this. Yeah.
It was more of a shh, and they got a grinder out and did their business. So helped us out so we could open it up.
Well, we appreciate all of you being out there in the middle of the night. And,
It was a long day, but
I didn't realize how bad it was until I left that next morning to go to Buchanan. I couldn't go down 5. Well, I did. I got this far. And then I was like, I'll go down 1,000. Nope.
Nope.
Almost made it. I'll go down 1,100. I'll go down. No. I ended up like at 43. I was like, I'm done. I just went all the way to Middlebury.
I kind of realized that 250 north and going north and east and west was just, you couldn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
It was that bad.
Yeah. I felt like the line started at about 450. It just was-
So it was a,
Side of Shipshewana Lake.
yeah, east side was bad.
Bad.
So we're working to figure out why the tornado sirens never went off. I
Yeah.
was told that from the sheriff. He said it happened so quick that dispatch didn't have time to react. So
I received a lot of phone calls wanting to know why it didn't go off.
oh, it's all
either.
over Facebook.
And I,
too.
it's not on us at all.
Well, my question is, do the individual sirens have power if there's no power?
That's good. I don't know. That's a good question.
You know?
They do not. Ben and I had the same conversation the day of.
So once the power went out, that siren wasn't gonna go off.
Even the phone, our phones never.
But the power wasn't off yet,
Mhm.
and they could have set
Yeah.
them off. And because I was sitting in my house, I got the notification on my phone, tornado.
I didn't
And
get
it
an
was-
alert
it
on
was-
mine.
It was in Bristol, and so I went to the basement. About 5 minutes later, it come by. But yeah, it was. I don't know what happened. They said I talked to sheriff. Said didn't get the alert from the weather service or anything. I don't know. It was all over the news and that. So the other option you got is that sirens should be moved up to the fire department where they have a generator, so we never have that problem. And I think also they need the permission to set that alarm off if they have that
I
option.
think we
there
should
at
have
the fire
everyone
station.
access. Because I was told that I think the fire chief in Topeka has.
Who gives
Stewart
access
does.
to that?
I don't know why.
Why don't we have access?
We should. We
I
do.
don't understand why he has it, but none of us. Up
I
here
don't know
have.
why we don't have
We
access to
we
that.
do have access to it. You can set it off at the fire station. It was set up that the desktop radio, you can set it off from there. It was also set up that all the police cars could do it, but once you switched to 800s, I'm not sure how the
Yeah.
police cars work on that because it was a VHF.
Yeah, we don't have VHF radios either.
It was a VHF thing.
Radio in the
Fire
actual
station.
old fire hall, and it's only programmed for to pick up 2 signals.
hmm
So that's probably what dispatch has.
And Bennett brought up a good point. He did some research because we had a long conversation about it. The new sirens have like a backup built into them,
Like a 9-volt battery.
and they're not 3-phase like this one. They run off regular power. So there was 2 reasons that if this one goes out again, maybe just replace it.
My opinion, it's just too close for comfort. 2 miles away.
I slept through it.
I was wide awake.
Proves
so
that God
I
protects
knew it was
fools.
coming. So
My
Nick
mom
only
always
rode a
said I
couple
need a good
times.
die young.
Yeah, so I
live a
underwrote.
long
Yeah.
life.
I was like, I think that's Tad driving around.
Help some people across the street get a tree off.
I swear it smelled like natural.
Well, I would
gas
say you
out
guys
there.
figure
I
out
did.
what you need to do to get access.
It don't smell like it.
Yeah, because I was like, I don't know, that's like something smells of natural gas on it.
But if you move the siren all the way out to the new fire department, is anybody where's one for people to hear here?
I'm hoping the
Yeah.
ones
Still
south
hear
and
it.
north would.
If it's out there and it's got the speakers aimed right, they'll hear it here in town.
Or if it's one of those that rotate, I don't know what they.
And they're outdoor sirens. They're not made to be.
You can't
heard
hear
in
them
the
inside
house.
anyway.
Yeah, you're supposed to have a weather radio for inside.
Yeah, I have no windows open.
I have a weather radio.
Never did.
Yeah.
Now, if you
That's
live
if I
across
had
the
it
street
on.
from the siren, you can hear it inside your house.
Yeah.
So you get a
Or if you're in the
phone call.
garage, you'll hear it really good too. That's it.
I can hear it inside.
Yeah, so can I.
You want authority to sell this truck? Or do we want to do that?
We already had that authority to that.
Oh, okay, I didn't know. Okay.
We just got, I think it was a template.
You're just following up on it.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think it was a template to put a
Do you-
broadcast.
So then let's talk a little bit about then, do you
Yeah.
want a minimum bid or not? And do you want to use this new procedure for having sealed bids subject to bid and tab being able to make it work? What do you think?
I kind of like the idea of email, but is it gonna like hold up the process, and is it gonna cost us the price of selling a car?
No, I've already done it, and I don't know
Okay.
what they gotta do. That would be the question for them, is how big of a deal is it to create a new email address called sealedoffers@shipshewana.gov and have one person in control.
Have it ready.
Easy enough.
I would recommend not calling it sealed offers because nobody will be able to spell it. As simple as possible.
Oh, well, you come up with what it is and tell me, because it has to go in the newspaper with whatever you call it. I made that.
Sealed offers would be hard to spell.
I'm just saying, the simpler the better. You get multiple words and people always get confused. That's just my opinion. You can call it whatever you want.
I don't care either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
You do?
Bids at shipshewana.gov.
I don't wanna call them bids because they're
Oh,
not
yeah.
bids, but,
Okay.
yeah, I actually thought about that.
Well, in the same respect, if you can't spell it right, I guess you didn't need a little bit.
Maybe. I don't have any ownership in the name. I just thought.
Can it
was
just say
easy.
sealed? Drop off offers. I mean,
Whatever you wanna call it.
I don't. I guess I do
Not
know
bids.
people that might have a hard
Vehicle
time.
offers?
Well, we can use it
Could
for
be
things in
anything.
vehicles, so I was trying to come up with something that we can use forever.
What do you want?
It can just be offers at shipshewana.gov. You want that?
Wonder how many offers you're going to get to that email.
Well, it's easy.
I don't care.
Somebody can misspell that easy. One after two.
You just leave it up to Bennett and he can send you
All right,
something.
you tell me what it is and I'll put it in
Make
there.
it offer.
Just offers. Got it.
You have to get a license for it.
Okay, so it's gonna be offers at shipshewana.gov. Proceed with that. What about minimum bid? We care or not care on this particular one, 2019 Dodge Durango?
You know, Nick hasn't done one yet.
No.
My opinion is no, and let's just see how it goes. And if he feels like he's been
You can
really
always- you can
shortchanged
always
on it, you
decline
can refuse the offers,
Yes,
right?
you can.
All right, good. Okay, thank you. That's all I needed to know before I'll get this new to you.
I have a question though. If you're refusing offer, say you get 3 bids and one's for like the lowest bid is $10. Can you refuse just that one?
Yep, as long as
Okay.
you don't do it based on second page, creed, color, race, or religion. If you refused somebody because they were black, of course, and give it to the white guy, then you got a problem.
It's only a problem if
Yeah.
one person bids $10. I guess.
That's exactly, or just reject them all. reason.
Yeah. Okay.
So, no, you can, I have in there, and we have had forever, the town may reject any and all bids received, or offers
Right.
received, whatever we wanna call them.
Easy.
I understand what I objected to. I'll get with you, Nick.
You're up. It's you.
Fire guy.
I mean, we're getting checks.
So how Nick touched on it, we had an EF1 tornado through most of our coverage area and then some. Most of the damage was concentrated around 5,000 north-ish, from about 1,000 all the way out. Yeah, all the way into Mongo, I believe they had damage. Tornado sirens, yeah, didn't go off. I don't know how much that would have actually helped, but obviously people would like those to go off. Yeah, we spent a lot of time. I think I left the house at 11:30ish Thursday night, and then I came home at 2:30 the following afternoon. So that was really long night. The guys did wonderful. We went out, we set up a command at the station there, and they went out and they radio stuff back in, and I thought it worked really well. I don't know what Nick thought of that part, but he was sitting there for a while, and then, yeah, they babysat State Road 5 for a long
Your
time.
front to back driveway spot was full of backers.
Yes. Yeah,
Do
it
you,
was-
do you guys have chainsaws that
Yep.
you use specifically for the trees and stuff?
I had to buy new chains for all of them. They were all worn out by the time we were
I
done.
bet.
Yeah, just my biggest concern is like, I guess I don't care so much if a road is shut down, but if we have every road from here to the county line shut down, if we get an emergency.
I mean, it was a problem. It was, yeah.
So, typically, if it's just small damage, we won't go out and clear the roads. It's the county has people for that. But with this scale of an event, we just work together and try to get it cleared up so that if we get something, we can get there. Because if we would have got a structure fire or somebody needing CPR over there anywhere, it would have been a nightmare. We had all the way up just south of the toll road at the mobile home park. We had a tree like right through the trailer, and we didn't know if anybody was in it or not. And our engine was on 450, and I told them, okay, let's get up there and get it searched. And it took them 30 minutes to get from 450
Oh, sure.
and 850 to 8200 north, 1150 west. A normal 5-minute drive. Like they'd go, like you tried, go north, can't go. Well, you can't turn a fire truck around.
No, and I had some really tight places I had to
So
turn
they're backing
around.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
It
was,
took me 45 minutes to get from here to the toll road.
Yeah. I believe it. Yeah, it was something. I'd say we learned a few things, what to do and what not to do. But overall, I thought our response was sufficient. We did have the next morning, I forget what time, around 9 o'clock or so. Somebody stopped one of the crews out that were out clearing the road and said, "Hey, there's somebody in a camper on the Pigeon River off of 650 north, I think it is, and they're hurt. Tree fell on the camper and they're hurt." It was also, it's way back in there. It's all the way on the Pigeon River in Scott. Like it's hard to get
Is
there.
that the ones on the south side of the road coming out of Scott heading east?
Correct, yeah.
Yeah.
You've been back there.
Oh, yeah, several times I was on, I was a cop, yes. Yeah.
It's a sight to behold when
Yes, it is.
when it's not trees everywhere.
We went back there and the guy got his finger bit off in a pipe. Found the finger. Oh.
How many guys did you have come in?
The initial search we did right after the storm, I think we had 19 people, 18 or 19, something like that. At right around 4 o'clock, we were sort of had the whole area searched and looked at and made sure nobody was hurt, or as much as we could. We didn't do fully, but we tried to get around to see if there's somebody trapped somewhere. After that initial wave, all but 3 of us went home. We sent them home. We're like, go get some rest. Then about 8 o'clock the next morning, I had them come back in, and I think we had 15 or 16 that time. So it was it's a lot of man hours that we spent mitigating the damage or checking it out. Overall, all in all, we had 44 different property damage locations that we recorded. It wasn't all inclusive. If you couldn't see it from the road, we weren't walking around every property, just from what we could see from the road. And we had 43 unique locations with trees or power lines or both in the road, blocking the road in some capacity. But yeah, just the one injury. I haven't heard of anybody dying from it, so
That's amazing, considering.
considering what it was. Yeah, any other questions on that?
No, you guys did a great job. We appreciate you.
Since I sent this report and today we have added another member of the fire department, Jonathan Bontrager. He is brand new to the fire service, and that brings us to 32 members. That is all the lockers I currently have, so. Either buy more lockers or take the ad down, one of the two. Looking for approval to offer for sale our 1989 F800 fire truck, known as Engine 22. We're getting the new Engine 22 first of the year. And it seems like a good time to get moving on that. The biggest thing that seems like a good time is with our building benefit auction this fall. I would love to have that truck on there. The truck was purchased with funds from a fundraiser, so I would love to offer it back to the public at a fundraiser. I think it could be a real highlight to the auction, and I have already had some interest from the public in if we were able to do it that way. So I'm looking for approval to offer it to the fire departments in the county, and if they refuse, go through with the process of having it done right to get it to the auction. All the steps necessary to get it to the auction. I have put in here for a minimum bid. If we don't need a minimum bid,
You don't?
okay, I guess I would leave that part out unless you guys want to put one in. So I'll leave that.
What happens if, you know, you say you probably make more money at your public auction thing.
Well, that's what I was wondering too.
If you
I
got a
mean,
fire department that's gonna, somebody wants it, they're gonna give you $1,000 for it, then you're gonna be stuck with giving that truck to them.
do we have to go?
No, let me walk you through that. And you poke holes in it, but, so the dilemma is, and Myron knows this, he has to give all the departments in the county a right of first refusal, which is essentially what the way the statute reads, nothing more than saying, before I sell it to a private individual, or somebody outside of the county, you, fire department in the county, have a right to buy it for the price I'm gonna sell it to. So the dilemma with the auction, which is why he's suggesting that he ask first and find out if there's interest. If there's not, and they waive their rights, then he doesn't have to go through that. He's got them to waive the right of first refusal. Because if he has the auction and he doesn't do the waiver up front, he got a price at the auction of $5,000. Now he's got to go back to all these people and say, I sold it at auction subject to your right of first refusal. Does anybody want it or not? And then if he doesn't get a response, he's got a dilemma. So what he's going to try to do, I believe, is he's going to, if you approve it, ask all the departments, hopefully get responses from all of them where they waive their right of first refusal, which now opens the door to him to sell it at auction for whatever he can. And he doesn't have to be, but so to answer your question, Terry, if the fire department says, yes, I'll take it for $1,000, that isn't a right of first refusal, that's an offer. They only have the right to buy it for what he's going to sell it to somebody else for, not offer. I mean, they can offer it, he can just refuse it, period.
So if I do get a $1,000 offer, I say, okay, now it's going to auction, then you have the right to match that?
Yes.
Okay.
And you'll have to make sure the auctioneer sells it that way so that the buyer at the auction understands their ability to acquire is subject to the whatever department exercising the right of first refusal. It's kind of confusing.
I have low confidence in getting any offers from the surrounding.
Which is good from the standpoint of going to auction.
Correct. Yeah.
In a perfect world, he'll get emails from all the departments saying, we don't.
I have a question
Yep.
on it. The auction is this fall.
Correct.
You don't get the new truck until first of the year,
February, correct. Yep.
and we're okay without that vehicle during that time.
Yes, with our ladder truck, with our two pumpers and our ladder truck in service, I feel confident in going that period without that truck.
Okay.
If we look at our calls where the truck has been out over the past 12 months, it's exactly 0. So
Oh well. Well then.
I had a man that I think is very smart tell me that he would definitely sell it at the auction if he could. There's a lot of leeward.
Mhm.
So I feel, and with the numbers that we've used it in the last year, it might have went out once or in the last 12 months. This year it hasn't,
Why are we buying a new one?
because we have to have it long-term to maintain our ESO rating.
Gotcha. Understood.
If you can convince a couple businesses in town to put sprinklers in, we don't. I'll let you handle that.
Give me a couple months. I'm busy right now.
So basically, he just needs approval to sell it.
To go
Or-
forward as proposed, as how I would do it. And to offer it for sale and go from there.
I'd make a motion to approve the offer to make this truck for sale as proposed.
I second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
That's all I got. If you got anything else, man.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I have a memorandum of understanding for the Impact Institute. I need you guys to give me okay to sign it on behalf of the town. It's for the GED program we have here. They come here twice a week and use the Wolf building for, we don't charge them anything for using that building for that program.
How many kids come?
It varies. I've seen as many over there as 4 or 5. It's not necessarily kids, there's young adults in there too.
Oh,
Or
okay.
adults want to get their GED.
What do you need from us?
Just, the okay of you letting, donating the Wolf building to them and having me sign the memorandum of understanding.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed?
Next thing you have is a street truck, for the street department out here. They're the only department that doesn't have a, utility vehicle to use, for their job and everything, and they need something a little bigger than the pickup truck. Some of the stuff they carry around, the equipment and everything, they need something big enough to be able to pull the back trailer in the fall and that, and right now they gotta use one of the big old dump trucks and that, and it's but this one's got a flatbed on it, the box, the storage room and everything for it. Here's a picture of it. I didn't get it in time to send it out to you, but I got 2 quotes. We sent out for 3, we only got 2. One of them's for the Andy Moore Ford for $74,774.55, and the other one's maybe Ford for a total of $83,367.48. So
Ted, can you remind us what you told us? before we,
I called FSG because we didn't actually. He said it's on this year's plan, but we didn't actually budget it for some reason. So we might have thought we were going to take it out of CCD, but we've been using that for other things. So FSG said that we should take it out of CCD and that we should just appropriate the money for it. He originally said it'd be a really good thing to take out a TIF because the streets. Kurt put a kibosh on that for us because of the state statute won't let us. So, but that's so because we were checking with him as well. But that's what he recommended, Charlie and Greg.
And the main use of this truck is gonna be for.
streets.
We do have a water truck running around.
All the other departments have their own service vehicles. Streets is the only one that doesn't have one.
Like a snow plows and a street sweeper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, Travis said today that when he talked to him, I think they're just trying to get rid of it because it's been sitting on the lot. He said he thought it was close to a $90,000 truck when it came out.
Which one?
The first, the low,
70.
yeah, the 74,000 one. He got him down like 14,000 on the price already, so he did a good job negotiating with them.
You know, the issue with TIF is it says you can only use TIF money for vehicles if it's for police and fire, and I didn't think you wanted to put sirens and things on this street.
Don't get any ideas.
Yeah.
Brian's back there with a big
They're
smile on
both
his
smiling.
face.
They're all smiling.
The sirens on the street, Joe.
I'm okay with that first one. if we make appropriations on those.
I think I am too.
Make a motion.
Make a motion to purchase the 2024 Ford from Andy Moore Ford for $74,774.55.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Also, the storm, we had quite a bit of overtime for the guys in the streets and wastewater and ag lost all the power, so all the lift stations went down, so they were traveling from lift station to lift station with generators, trying to keep them running, and our generator took a kibosh. And we
Ours
had
did?
our portable one.
Oh.
Yeah, the big
The
portable.
new one we
no,
just put in?
No, the big portable one we have, it went out, so they couldn't get it fixed right away, they couldn't have parts, so we had to bring one in to use. So, so they had quite a bit of overtime for everybody that was involved in that. Then the pump combine was closed for several days, and everybody went out there and worked and cleaned that up. So they did a real good job getting it all cleaned up. And they probably took, I don't know, probably about 12 truckloads of brush and tree limbs from in town here, helping everybody out. We told people if they push it out towards the road, we pick it up for them. They did a really good job doing all that. So, really no major damage to anything in town, and mainly
Just that one guy's house.
just that one guy's house.
Is there anything that you can do or the county can do to declare something a disaster or?
They already,
emergency?
the governor's already done it.
Did
The
they?
EMA director, I sent them a number of what I thought we spent and money for that time frame.
Okay.
Sent them. That's just a preliminary one. If they'll get, if it goes through, then we'll have to get something more in depth. So it's mainly equipment and salaries for overtime and things like that we use. So, but I already sent that in to the EMA
Will it
director.
replace our generator that we were out?
Is that town of Shipshewana request? Or-
Town of Shipshewana. It's all each everybody had damage. The county was one. Town of Shipshewana was one. I don't know if LaGrange had much over there or not, but Topeka I think had some. So whoever had damage from the storm, he was able to submit numbers.
You know how long that process takes?
It's with the government. I don't know. They gotta approve it and a lot of other stuff. So I got an email like Wednesday, sometime late Wednesday morning, and said I had to have it by the end of the day. So it didn't give us much time to get stuff together.
Well, I mean, Southern Indiana just got hit harder than we did. So
They
did.
Hopefully
Yeah.
they.
Better get our money quick before they start getting into it. Governors from down there. I have a question on lift stations, Casey. When we are redoing them, I know we talked about generators on some of them.
Yeah, so probably the most important generator in town is East Middlebury. It's on a generator. It will get a new generator. One waves, which picks up a good chunk in the south end of the town. That will be getting a generator, which it didn't have a generator before. Yoders will be getting, it's already on a generator.
Yeah, I think
And then
it's
we're gonna take the old generator from East Middlebury, move it out to West Middlebury, as it service is
The lake.
Shipshewana Lake.
Mhm.
You still have 13,
13 more.
13, 13 plus that aren't on the generator. You need the portable generator.
Mhm.
The thing is, you got them on the most critical ones. Not saying it'd be better if you had them on more,
Yeah.
but some of them are small, so.
So how does that work when you have to go from one lift station to the next?
They
How
go-
long can you-
they
can it
go
be
pump
without
it down, and when it gets pumped all the way down, they go to the next one.
Yeah, it's just, you're running around town looking in
Yeah.
there as they pump it, and then when you're done, you're going to the next one, and it's based on their experience of the flows, and,
Yeah.
which is not, I mean, it's probably, we work in a lot of communities, I don't know any community has generators on every single, I mean, we work on some bigger community cities that don't have one generator on pump station, they're on portable generators, but it puts a lot of burden on your staff. So, but I don't, again, it would be better if you could put them all on generators, but it's not atypical.
And then these new generators that are hooked up, are they running off of diesel or are they hooked into natural gas?
All the new ones are on natural, or all the pump stations are on natural gas.
That's awesome.
The one back at the treatment plant is diesel, because we don't have natural gas back here. It's usually, I think we got at least a 1 day supply in the generator.
Thank you. What else we got, Terry?
I think that's it. Casey's got a bunch of stuff for you. Pay apps.
Thank you. Yeah, I have 5 action items. These are all pay apps, so I'll go through them quickly, but I'll entertain any questions as they come up. The first one, these are all associated with the wastewater projects. Let me figure out where I'm at on this. The first one is for R. Yoder Construction. I'll go through all of them and then you consider a motion at the end. The first one is for pay application number 11. This is for R. Yoder Construction. This is the treatment plant for $833,720. We've reviewed that and we would recommend payment. With that, there's still only about, looks like about 30% through the funding of the project. If you go to the next one, this one is for API Construction. This is pay application number 3. This is for the SRF project. So with pay application number 3, this is for the 2 pump stations, project B, One Waves and East Middlebury. Pay application number 3 is for $290,166.86. With that, they're about 60% through the project. The next project is the rehab project. So this is the one that's coming out of, I think, your local gift fund, I believe. And this is actually pay application number 7. This is the one that's basically complete other than punch list items. So with pay application number 7, this is for $29,966.49. And you can see we're about 1.3 million, 1.7 left. Again, even with some change, we're not change orders like moving the generator and some other stuff we've done, I suspect we'll have a final deduct on that pay application or that project here in the next 2 to 3 months. The next pay app is for API Construction as well. This is actually pay application number 2. I think this was my bad. I didn't submit this in time for the last meeting in probably May. So this is actually pay application number 2. This is also for project B, API Construction, going to SRF. With this one, it's for $214,965.87. So again, we would ask council to consider that for payment. And then the final one, this is also pay application number 6. This is also for API Construction. This is from the locally funded project. And as you can see, this is for $165,763.60. So those are the 5 pay applications. 3 of them are from SRF. 2 of them are from the local project API is working on. We would recommend council make a motion to consider the pay applications as presented for the 3 wastewater projects, or I will entertain any questions.
So moved.
I second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. And opposed? Look at that.
Thank you.
Moving right along. Thank you, Casey. Ted?
Claims totaling $36,359.89. Those are the invoices.
So what they Oh. Isn't that so?
What'd you find?
It was taking him to the invoices. He couldn't see the register.
It said 36,359.89.
Where is the register? Sorry.
Around the corner and up and down. I don't know how
Oh,
you got
in
to
the
it.
folder, you mean?
Is it in the folder?
Yeah, it's in the folder, but I couldn't open it until he pushed the button. I was like, oh, there we go.
Or email. If it's easier to
See
email.
it. No, I had problems.
Simply Pristine, is that for 2 weeks of clean or a month of cleaning?
2 weeks. They do it.
That's 2 weeks.
bi-weekly. Yeah, 2 weeks.
Did he talk to them? Do you know?
You have any questions on that?
Remind me, Ted, afterwards. I have a question for you after.
I'd make a motion to accept the claims as presented.
A second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Easy peasy. What else you got, Ted?
Just everything with BSNA is moving forward. Sally and I really did a deep dive on utility billing this month. We essentially looked at almost every account to make sure all the little things like, oh, well, you know, you didn't get billed for fire protection on accident. You're getting billed for 1.2 acres instead of 1.5 acres for storm water. So we think we got 90% of it all addressed, all the little housekeeping stuff.
One-time fix going forward.
Yeah, these things are one-time fixes. Yeah, or someone called and they needed, they want us to look at something and we found something like that type of thing. But
Irrigation.
yeah, yeah, and the first time you add it, it thinks it's a new meter. So, like, if you had irrigation and you've had it for 5 years and your last reading is 2 million something, it thought you used 2 million gallons this month. So we're like, wait a minute, this person doesn't want to pay $100,000 for irrigation. So we had to, little things like that. But it's going very well. We've learned that it does what we tell it to do. So if we tell it to do something wrong, it does it wrong, which was not the case with the old software. So we're pretty happy so far. And we received our additional training in the middle of all that. That's what delayed a bunch of it, and that was, it's night and day now. Using
Awesome.
it's night and day.
I noticed some chatter on social media about where's my water bill? Did you get a water bill?
Yeah, and they're out. It's just,
I got mine today, so.
yeah. We've been getting payments. And a lot of the businesses, we actually took a bunch of them to the businesses and said, you know, we went through your accounts just because we thought it'd be better. Especially the businesses with like 20
Yeah,
accounts.
yeah. Makes sense.
Cool.
Anything else?
I think so.
No? I see.
Applaud yourselves. That was a big project. I know it's not over, but
I'm glad we're getting through utility billing because all the things I need to do are getting piled up. Like general ledger and making sure that stuff works. And we found little things here and there, but utility billing is on a revolving time schedule. And if we get off of it, you don't get it. So it is what it is sometimes.
Well, hopefully it all goes kind of autopilot for you after the first couple of months.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bennett, do you have anything? No?
Get my name for the
Oh,
email.
that's it. It's gonna be that. Okay, good.
I have agree.
Look at that. All right.
Ready to go.
Do you have anything for
I have you asked me to create documents, post moratorium on battery
Yes.
storage systems and data center. And we have done so, and there it is. And if you wanna do it, it's 1 year by statute. Even though we used it. Yeah, anyway. It's ready.
good? I drive by that
Or you
big,
think about it if you're not.
I drive by that big farm field that's all plowed up off of the toll road. now,
Basically
and
gives you a
kinda
year to
hurts my
think
heart.
about it and work with the county about their developing their own ordinance
And if we don't have a year to think about it through this and somebody comes in and,
And you can always repeal that.
so we need the time to do our,
Yeah, that was the idea, is
Yeah.
that if you don't have it, you're an easy target. So if you don't wanna be an easy target,
Supposedly they're trying to put one in pretty close.
hear that, there's two now in the works. And they're working hard, cause as they get pushed out of other counties, you're close by.
right.
This A.
Yes, that, I think.
Do you have any
I
thoughts on
wasn't
it?
sure, so I left it. I think you have an electronic version. That's the one you need to have.
I mean, I like just having our defense ready.
Yeah.
Right.
And just,
I would agree.
I heard some chatter on this on social media.
Did you?
Not this one particularly,
Opposed
but
to-
other counties and
Oh.
other towns.
Bristol's really
Mhm.
knee deep right now, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just went to the cybersecurity base camp with IoT down in Indy, and the data centers are a double-edged sword, right? Because we have the things that are happening to our communities, but at the same time, I have to use AI to fight AI, and it's literally the next quote-unquote weapon, right? So if we as a nation are not developing these, we are going to fall behind to our adversaries.
Yep.
So, not saying that it needs to be here in Shipshewana. It's just that's the reality of it. Because like exploitations of computers have gone from days to weeks to literally minutes because of AI. So, just
Yeah.
the other side of it.
Good points.
It is good, and this, just so you know, is not to prevent. It's basically to say, you gotta give us a year to think it through.
I mean, because our reality is we have no idea what the pros and
I have
cons
no
are of
idea.
actually
Hearing
having
this
one of
from
those
Madison.
facilities in our backyard. And
And we're literally working on at the county level right now, 76, I think it's 76 pages right now. Ordinance addressing specs, protocols for both of these things, that will eventually go through the planning commission and up to the commissioners. So, that process alone is gonna take us another 6 months.
But I do agree that there needs to be some greater discussion and regulation and all that.
so this gives us time to do some
And we
due
cannot regulate
diligence.
them out of business. We
Right.
can only impose reasonable land use restrictions to allow them in certain areas. But we aren't even there yet. Without this, you're
you done discussing?
I've discussed.
Make a motion to approve ordinance number 2026-06-24-A.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? More?
wait a second.
Oh,
Make
yeah.
a motion to suspend the rules for second reading on all ordinances and resolutions passed tonight.
I second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Get anything else? Are you gonna hold that up?
Well, I don't have one. In case I have.
Maybe they think you're.
You got one right there.
No, the
Oh,
things to
Oh,
say.
oh, I see.
See it at the bottom.
I gotcha. We can switch them.
It's okay.
Right.
Very helpful.
I'm gonna-
Somebody's gotta shut it down.
I'll make a motion to adjourn meeting.
I second.
Think about it.
Motion